Swept in. Oh my god, that was so scary. Shit, that was too close. Hey there guys, what is going on? It's Miss C.O.Z here, and before you continue watching this video, please click that subscribe button below and leave a like. Again, thank you so much for the excellent and amazing support. And we're off 666, we're on 667, which means no more curses. The Unchained, the final boss of Mortal Shell with the biggest health bar and incredibly annoying attacks. So let's get into it right away, because this is what we've all been waiting for, to try and finish that dratted game before we start Horizon Zero Dawn. Not Horizon Zero Dawn, sorry, Horizon Forbidden West. So what you want to do is you want to wait for him and bait his attacks, roll under them. He has sweeping attacks, he sweeps from left to right, and he's got this telegraphed attack where he sweeps across to you, trying to knock you out as well. As you can see, I was pretty much struggling, as well as flying waves about the area. Look, as you can see, this was the sweeping attack I was talking about. Harden. You want to get in there, you want to get 1-2 hits, then he's going to sweep, you roll under and try to get to his side. If you contact with his head, you can stun him, which causes you to give you enough time to cause damage. You want to go in with a charge swing there and just really keep up the pressure. What worked for me was going very, very aggressive, especially if you play Teal the Acolyte. As you can see, the amount of endurance and stamina I have with this build really helped. And if you have the chisel and hammer as well, it was only at +3, but it done some pretty cool damage. At about when you slice about quarter of his health, that's when he starts bullshitting, because the design is annoying when they do that. He's got telegraph moves, he's got a big health bar. He can also spawn random soldiers, they keep coming to you. What I advised that did help me with dealing with them, because they can get really difficult, very hard to control them, and then they end up getting hits on you and piling on you, is try to angle yourself, move back, look, distance yourself, wait for them all to leap at the same time or similar times, so they're coming in a straight line, which makes it easier to slice them and get your timing right, rather than having them scrambled everywhere. And he's going to do that again at half his health as well. You want to try and get in close to him, roll under, contact with his head once more, repeat this process and go for the neck, because that will stun him or at least cause enough damage. As you can see, I was being really aggressive here, rolling through his attacks. There we are, he's on the floor again. Get in there, that's what I was talking about. You don't want this fight to last long, and the reason is because he's going to heal half his health around his third phase, and also this fight takes too long. When it takes too long, that's when you start getting tolls on your health, because he will repeat some bullshit ass moves and everything, and it takes like 20 minutes, so you want to get there as quick as possible, and you want to keep repeating this process, going for the head. So dodge through those easy telegraph moves, you just have to roll through them. Roll when he smacks his hand down, that's when you know you want to go straight for his head before rolling back out again. Be careful, do not get greedy. He also does this move where he disappears, right? And all that sea crap, make sure you dodge the missiles. But mainly you want to harden and time your harden. So as you can see, every time he goes and fells and swoops for me, I tank the hit with a harden, L2, R2 that is, and then I get in there and get aggressive, roll through his side, an arm sweep, and then keep contacting his head or his neck, which I found were quite good weak points as well. As you can see, at around half his health gone, he's going to spawn all of those minions again. Be careful, make sure that you're still keeping an eye on him as well, because what I found is that I died quite a bit because he could sweep me while I was focusing on his on the crowd, or on his crowd of soldiers. Remember, they can cause damage if they stack on you, and watch for the waves as well, they also cause damage. To get away from them, either roll or harden, wait for his attacks, keep an eye on them, line them up, as I was saying, though they did get a little bit overwhelming. Just roll through their attacks. As you can see, I was struggling here, but look, they all jump in one line. Then keep an eye on the boss. Look, when he's winding this attack up, he's going to come and emerge from the bottom, harden as soon as he smacks down on you. And then if you can, because once you narrow down the timing for the move where he sort of sprites up, disappears in the water, and then tries to dive bomb you as he comes out, as long as you harden through that, you can even get like 2 hits on him. It doesn't do that much damage. But with all his attacks, you just have to wait for them to finish in that second frame. As you can see, look, I get enough hits on his stomach, and just keep repeating this process. Try and bait that swiping attack so that you can harden right through it. As you see, wait for it, wait for his arm sweep or whatever, then go straight for his neck or try to get into it. As you can see, those waves are very dangerous, and this is why it does take quite a few attempts. It did take me quite a few attempts, because I had to deal with the waves, I had to deal with him flying back and forth, not to mention his health bar is very large, and he doesn't have 2 phases, he's the final boss, but he does have a few tricky moves that keep it going, you know, as one of those really annoying boss fights. My experience with this game so far has been phenomenal, although I would say I did not like this old prisoner boss fight. It was one of the harder boss fights, and therefore I can say that I did take merit in the fact that it was quite a challenge as well. I did not expect it to be that challenging, because it was quite his moves are quite slowly telegraphed. Right, this move is what kept killing me, guys. At his 3rd phase, he spawns a whirlpool, and what he's going to do is going to suck all of his shadow army into that whirlpool and heal to half health. You have to go on a crazy race, keep mowing them down. The more that go in, the more he heals his health. So you need to make sure that you don't go in that whirlpool, stay on the edge, let the ripples and current take them out as much as possible, and use lock on as well, because it helps, but keep unlocking off it, otherwise you sort of get stuck. I almost died, and because if you go into that whirlpool, I'm telling you right now, instantly kills you. Luckily over here, look, I was so close to dying. Luckily over here, the only reason I didn't die was because I had my shell chance. I got knocked out of my shell, so if I get hit one more time, I'm gonna die. I still haven't done a no shell run, that's another one. Just like my Bloodborne BL4, you have to play the game without a shell, which is like, look at that bloody annoying health. How are you supposed to do that? I almost got swept in. Oh my god, that was so scary. Shit, that was too close. Run back towards the shell. Oh god, he's gonna manifest. Oh, that was so close. But as you can see, that's the point where it really sort of messes me up a little bit. It's that move, but once I'm telling you now, that is his pinnacle move. That's the annoying move that could get him to half his health. Once you deal with that move, just be extremely fast there, mow them all down before the riptide gets too chaotic. Also make sure you don't get sucked in. You need to make sure he can't do that move, because if he does it, it will cause so many problems for you. The waves are going to get overwhelming. This is one of those sort of boss fights that deliberately takes long to tire you out, and I really hate those ones. This endurance-based boss fight as well. So make sure, as long as you know how to end his moves and cancel that move, it's going to really help you. And eventually I did it as well with a little bit of practice. What you could also do, and another strategy that I've seen, I did not get this weapon inside the game myself, so I couldn't use it, but there's something called the Ballistazuka or something, or yeah, a Ballistazuka, right? And it's like a projectile, so what you could do is you could just distance yourself if you get this weapon in the game as well, and you could basically just bomb them all down to prevent him healing, so that would really help. And the 3rd phase, I would also add sometimes, depending on RNG, he also adds this spinny move every time you try and get close to him, so just be aware of that, because that can take a large sector of your health. But as you can see, go for the head, repeat, bait his attacks, wait for the waves or whatever. Those waves are really annoying, so sometimes you'd want to harden through them. As you can see, I'm hardening, and I was just waiting. I literally camp in harden for ages during this moveset. As you can see, just waiting for him to come down. He's going to dive under. I'm waiting for him to come up, emerge, and then hit his stomach, and then he keeps jumping back when you get too aggressive. So what you really want to do is just capitalize on the opportunity when he slashes towards you, doing that weird pond skiing thing, and then get into hits. Try and stun him, as you can see I was doing in the 1st phase, and you get a lot of damage as long as you know his openings and such. And he's done it again. See, sometimes what he'd do is he'd spawn them, and he'd repeatedly spawn them. Obviously it's RNG based again, but if that happens, just do the same thing, line them up. But this was getting really tiring and frustrating as well. Thoughts on this game so far? I've had a lot of fun, and I'd say that my favorite boss fight within this game was Tarsus, the first martyr. He was an ice skating boss that was extremely fast, extremely hard, and reminded me mostly of Bloodborne boss fights. As you can see, Bloodborne is a really fast-paced game, and in comparison, Mortal Shell is pretty fast-paced as well. The great thing about Mortal Shell, and what I like in comparison to Bloodborne and maybe Dark Souls 3, is that rather than having to build a character or anything, it's almost as if it's bread and butter done to you. You know, you get these shells, and you get an endurance based shell, you get strength based shell and stuff. So really it's like Dark Souls without the fuss, I would say. And it adds in a little bit of its its individuality with Harden, although it does have repetitive combat. You know, throughout the whole thing I've used Harden rather than the parry mechanic, whereas in Dark Souls and Bloodborne you'd be using more parrying as well. But it really depends. There are many ways to play, and this was my favorite fighter, Teal the Acolyte, because he's very stamina based, and it's all about getting in aggressive. And alas, The enemy, will you shepherd me across the floor? I see nothing now. The old prisoner is dead, because ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the old prisoner who we've been collecting the glands for after each boss fight ended up trying to betray us and ascend himself. We're all cursed, so he said, why not curse us all? Upon extracting Darkfather's gland, you are now given the choice to ascend. Ascension ends your time in the mortal realm. You will ascend and begin again in Fulgrim in New Game Plus mode. No, thank you. I don't want to go to New Game Plus yet. I plan to platinum this eventually in some distant future, maybe, I don't know, when I'm married. I'm joking, but yep, guys, the game is finished. We've beat the old prisoner. I am so happy. Please subscribe, leave a like, and see you soon, because Aloy is around the corner, whenever I do get around to it, obviously, but you know, Aloy is around the corner. Mortal Shell.